In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a new Iris Insight client and also how to link it and import the data from Xero. Once in Insight, click on the Clients tab at the top of the screen. You'll have an option to add a new client. All you need to do is enter their business name, their location, which will default to the United Kingdom, and also their business sector. Once you've entered this information, just hit the Save button on the right hand side of the screen. On the following screen, you can select the user who will be managing this account. As the system admin, you will have default access and will be automatically ticked on the right hand side of the screen. Make sure there is a tick on the box for anyone else, any other users who will need access to this particular client's data. Once you're happy that the access has been set, just press the Save button. Once you've entered this information and click the account, you will now see the client will display on your Clients tab. To finish the client setup, all you need to do is click on the client name. You will now have the option to add in any additional users at this point for the business. If it's just a single user you need, just click the Next button. If you want to add another user, just click the Add User button on the left-hand side, select their email address and the user access, whether it will be read-only, if they have the ability to edit, or if they'll have full access rights to the Insight account, and then they'll receive an email so they can set up a password from there. We're just going to go with the single user access for this particular business, so all I do is click Next. You can then set the payment terms up for customers and suppliers. These can be changed once the account has been set up as needed, but for any changes now, all we need to do is just type that information in. Once we're happy that those payment terms are set, we just hit the Next button. We've now got the option to enter their VAT information. If they are not VAT registered, then just leave it on the default, but if they are VAT registered, just tick the box. Once this is clicked, you will then have the option to select whether they report monthly or quarterly, so just select the right option from the drop-down box. You've also got the option to choose when their VAT period ends. You can also select which VAT scheme they're using, standard, cash, flat rate and cash-based flat rate schemes. If you need to add in any additional VAT rates, just click the Add Tax Rate option and add any VAT rates in that particular client might need. Once this is set up, just hit the Next button to move forward. On the Next tab, we can start entering any payroll information. If they don't employ any staff, it will default to No. If we select Yes as an option, we can then choose when their payroll is paid. We have the option to select monthly or weekly. You can choose whether that will be the last day, or you can choose a specific date within the month, and then select whether that's the current month or it's going to run from next month. Underneath here, we can start entering our pension information. So when the pension is paid, again, we can select monthly or weekly, or we can select the specific date, just like we can with our payroll. We can then start entering our pension contributions by the employee and also our employer pension contributions. So we just enter that information in, and when you're happy with that, just hit the Next option. When it comes through to the finance system, this is where we will go and choose Xero as an option. Once you've chosen Xero from the drop-down list, all we need to do is press the Complete Setup button. Once we've done that, we're presented with two options. We have the option to set up a forecast and all their historical data from scratch. If we want to pull in their historical information from Xero, we just select the option to Use My Xero Data. Once I've done this, all I need to do is enter a name for the forecast. We can enter our financial year end. We can also choose a forecast start date. So we're in June, so I'm going to start the forecast from here. We can also enter any specific overdraft that this particular client has. I'm just going to enter £1,000 for now. We can also choose the length of the forecast. It will default to 12 months. We can go as low as we need to, but the maximum forecast length is 36 months. On this particular one, we're just going to do a 2-year forecast, and when we're happy with that, we just hit the next button. On this screen, all we need to do is start authorizing the link between Iris Insight and Xero. This can take a few minutes for this to just link with the Xero website, and then we'll have the option to authorize. Once we want to authorize the link between Iris Insight and Xero, just put in your login information and then hit the login button. You will then be prompted as would you like to allow access, and all you do is click the allow access button. Once you've clicked the allow access button, you will now see that it is copying the data from Xero into Iris Insight. Once that's imported the data, you can either choose the default mapping that the system has chosen, or you do have the option to review the mapping from here. If we click the review mapping option, you can see that it's pulled through all of the P&L and balance sheet nominal codes from Xero, and we can make any manual amendments we want to from here. If you want to make any changes, all you need to do is click on the drop down box from here, and then just go and choose the option. You can review all of the mapping, and if you're happy, just press the next button. Once you press the next button, it will start creating the categories within Iris Insight. On the next screen, you'll have the option to select the default dates for outstanding payments, or you can edit these payments if you wish. So the default payments can come through from Xero itself, but if you click the edit payment option, you'll have various information. We can see here that if I click the edit button next to my trade debtors, I can actually pull that information through from the external system, and that payment information will come through from Xero. We could also just select the default dates that we chose when we set up the integration, or we can enter no payments expected, or you do have the option for entering planned dates. So in here, we'll be able to see any debtors. We can select the invoice date, the amount that's due from the invoice, the planned date that we're going to receive it, or if you need to, you can delete any of that information from here as well. I'm going to select the option for just using our external system and hitting save. You also have any other option in here. You can just click edit and edit those terms. Once you're happy with that, you just hit the next option. Once you've set those up and come through to here, you have the option to start entering forecast assumptions. They can either be entered as in 12 months prior to the forecast start date, or we can choose the last financial year's actuals. I'm going to choose 12 months prior to the forecast start date. If we scroll down, we have the option to set a percentage increase. So next to my sales tabs, I can say that for my first year, I want to have a 20% increase in sales, and it will show you what that figure is going to look like. And then from our second year, I'm going to say 30%. And there we can see the increases are changing. If you have, or the client has, specific sales lines, you can just click on that and it will show all of the various sales figures, and you can set various increases against sales lines across the business. We can also start setting any percentage increase against specific expenditure. So we can just set that within here. So I'm just going to go 5% across the board in here. If we click the drop down list again, next to operating costs, we can see these are the actuals it's actually brought through from our Xero account, and I can set specific increases that I think are going to occur against specific expenditure codes. All of these forecast assumptions can be changed at any point once this information has been imported. Once you've made those assumptions, just click the Next button and that information will then be set up. Our forecast is now complete, and we have the option to review our cash flow, review the profit forecast, or run reports. I'm just going to review the profit forecast, and we can see all of that information has come in. And if we go to the Actuals tab here, all of our sales, all of our expenditures all come through directly from our Xero account. If you need any more help with how to link Iris Insight and Xero, then please contact Iris Insight support.